when it comes to Alabama's defensive front and the fact that they've kind of struggled as far as the defensive line recruiting. I do like Stephen Momoa. I like Jeremiah Beeman. I like a lot of the guys they've added in recent years, but the star power on that front, James Smith is really the only five-star Mr. Everything type of player that Alabama has signed on the defensive line in quite some time. Now, they still have a pretty steady stream of good NFL players, but that the Jonathan Allens, the Deron Paynes, those haven't come around in recent years as much. But I've kind of wondered, sometimes it's like the Rydeouts really helped with wide receiver recruiting because you recruited several of them, you put them on display, you utilized them correctly, you proved that you could have multiple players at that position and kind of put all of their skill sets on display enough for the NFL where they can move on and have a lot of success and be first-round draft picks. And so it really started to get the ball rolling as far as Alabama's wide receiver recruiting. I wonder if, everybody knows I'm extremely high on James Smith. Everybody knows I'm extremely high on LT Overton if he continues to, if he can just learn to finish. If you can get the kind of impactful play and more of a disruptive style of defense, like go look at Texas A&M. They have recruited the defensive line better than, probably anybody. Now, they were paying a lot of those guys, but you go look at some of the players that are in the NFL draft. They either played for A&M or they, had played previously to 2024 for A&M, a ton of them. But they from a production standpoint, none of them produced at A&M. LT Overton didn't really produce at A&M. Georgia is not really known for their defensive line being ultra productive. It's the way that they play. Nick Saban was the same way. Now you're playing in Kane Wommack's defense that's got a little bit of a different attacking mentality with that true 4-2-5. It's not a 3-4 that kind of transitions. So I wonder if you can get the kind of production that we're hoping and expecting from both James Smith and LT Overton. Could they be, for Alabama's defensive line, as far as kickstarting the defensive line recruiting, what the Rydeouts were for Alabama's receivers?